Hello there, everybody. Welcome to our Lionsgate activation. And actually, we're a month ahead, as usual. But what we're doing today with this New Moon in Cancer Masterclass is we're really preparing the way for having a joyride, having a really beautiful experience of these Lionsgate's energies. I feel like I've been a broken record talking about just how powerful the energies are at this time. And we've literally just coming through the Sirius gateway, which precedes Lionsgate. And the peak of Lionsgate is the 8th of August. So we've got about a month now, well, specifically, to really build these energies up. So you're here with me today to be able to stabilize in the new frequencies so that you're not having an up, down, horrendous experience. And I do want to check in with all of you in terms of the kind of ascension symptoms that have been going on for you. We're also going to be looking at the number one block that seems to affect us as we are the co-creators of the new world, especially those of us who are here in service to others, which will be everyone here because we're all starseeds one way or another. And we'll be looking at the 5 signs that we often mistake as regression, but are actually signs of progression. And this is when we tend to give up just before the magic starts. I think this is so important if you're on a path of consciously co-creating to actually be able to understand this bit, because this is where mere mortals give up, okay? And we're not mere mortals. We are starseeds. We're here with a mission. And I will also give you a little bit of a taster, and I think I'll do another masterclass on this at another point, of the different types of soul missions we have, okay, and why there's always a point at which we go, you know what, I'm fine here. This is where I'm going to stay, unless you get a walloping message from your soul going, no, you have more work to do, which is what happened for me. So for those of you who are new to me, I am RozyGlow Hannis. I am a channel of divine grace. I'm also a psychic soul coach. And I have been a multidimensional mentor for many years, primarily working with the subconscious. And with that, I'm talking about clearing the subconscious of the kind of programming that creates the limitations and blocks in our lives that prevent us from having what we truly want, because every one of us has a soul purpose. And that soul purpose is actually to be embodied in human form, having an experience as a spiritual being in a physical body. And those of us who are here today will have most likely have had many initiations in the last few weeks that have felt like they've just been flooring you. So I'll be very curious to know about your experience with that. If you are catching this on YouTube, thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting. If you're catching this anywhere else, we might share. It's always great to get your feedback. What do you love about it? What were your wow moments? So please, please, please use the chat box and make sure that you do share your experience of what really pops for you as I go through all this information, because I'm a channel, okay? For the most part, if I am taking information from someone else or somewhere else, I will let you know. Otherwise, it's come from me directly, as in my guides, the Star Peace Collective, which I understand as the Intergalactic Super Federation. If you're new to this concept, can you imagine that there is in our universe, and maybe even in the multiverse, but let's just stick with our universe, there's a intergalactic federation. So there are all these galaxies that have come together within this universe. And just remember, there's, I think, billions of galaxies in a universe. And there's, it's really mind-boggling when you actually look at how much there is of a universe, right? And black holes, etc. But if you can just fathom for now that there is a big, big, big collaboration of various galaxies, more galaxies wanting peace in our universe than not. And this is why, from my perspective and my understanding, peace was declared back in 2020 in our universe, but we just haven't quite fully got the memo yet. And things here on Earth look like they're getting much worse, which is kind of what needs to happen for them to get better. So we're in a bit of a healing crisis, but everyone here is here to support the ascension of the planet. And what's super exciting about this, as I take you through everything that we're going to do today, I'm going to do a little grounding in just to get us all in the same space and energetically harmonious. And then going to take you through what I said I would do with you, which is how to actually access the gifts, what the gifts are, what the blocks are, what the challenges are, what we can actually do about them. And then I'm going to let you know about 3 special invitations, all taking place over Lionsgate. I'll be very quick, I promise. And I will then take you into our activation. And the whole point of this activation, my friends, is for us to actually take a breath. It's to be able to pause, to integrate. And what's happening for most of us, and this is what I want to know, please do to share in the chat box as I say this, have you been extremely tired, right? Have you found yourself getting sick out of nowhere, right? Have you found yourself dealing with a massive drama, like a family drama or something that's just come out of nowhere that was unexpected? Are you finding yourself in relationship crisis, financial crisis, or that actually, whereas you feel like you've been okay for a very long time, suddenly you're feeling really anxious, really stressed, all these fears are popping up out of nowhere. and you don't know what to do with them. Like, it's just not feeling comfortable to be in your body. It's not feeling comfortable to be in your head. It's not feeling comfortable to be in your emotions. These are all ascension symptoms right now, and they're all happening in order to help us to actually harmonize with the frequencies available to us, so we can actually stabilize in the next level up frequency, not low down. And there's this 3D, 5D oscillation. And you know what? The key to us being able to integrate is actually the mind. But it's something a little bit different about the mind to what we're used to. So I'm going to go there in a moment. Let's start with a little grounding in, and then I'll check what everyone has said. But it's lovely to have you all here. So please, if you can, bring your hands together. And if you're sitting in such a way that you could bring your feet into butterfly pose, do so. If not, then would you please actually bring your feet to the ground and make sure everything's uncrossed. Okay. So having a little shake. So doing admin at the same time, having a little shake and clearing your energy field. I've got my gold sparkly top on, and I think I have about 3 sparkly gold tops these days because I like sparkly gold tops. And this is all about Lionsgate, baby. So reach up, bring the energies down. We've had Sirius, the Syrian sun, aligning with our sun. And we've also had the new moon in Cancer, all bringing the energy together of what is basically a divine feminine activation. Okay, it's a sacred feminine upgrade for all of us. But it's not just the feminine, it's what allows us to help the masculine aspects of our inner being and the aspects of the masculine around us to move out of the patterns of either being a bully or being emasculated, and actually to move into the energy of being a balanced, divine, sacred masculine, just as we are balanced, divine, sacred feminines. And actually understanding what that means is what we're learning through being embodied, right? We don't really have anything to go by. We don't really have anyone who can guide us and go, oh, this is the way to do it. We're learning through our hearts. Okay, now press your hands together at your heart center. Just give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Okay, and then bring the shoulder blades onto your back. Press your hands together. And now with your nose, draw a circle in the air in front of you. So if you're new to the concept of a sphere of compassion, I talk about them a lot. You can imagine that the outermost layer of your energy field is a sphere. Go the other way when you're ready. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And so as you draw a sphere with your nose, it's like a magical portal you're going to step into in a minute. You're activating a safe space for the whole of your being, all that you are. Now, please draw your nose up and down and feel free to close your eyes. As we move the nose up and down, we're choosing to be conduits of source energy, to allow our bodies to bring the light and love of source in its purest form to this planet. And just for a moment, keep your chin dropped down towards your heart. And smile into this organ, this master organ of your whole body, mind, spirit complex. Take a moment just to acknowledge that your heart is witnessing you, acknowledging your heart, and your heart is delighted. And so as you smile into you, as you recognize your essence, you make a full commitment to be the most happy, joyful, abundant, prosperous, in love, wealthy, healthy version of you. That this is your gift to this planet. This is your gift to humanity. So breathe into your heart. And as you breathe out, send your breath down your body, down into your earth chakra. Now this is about 3 foot beneath the surface of the earth. Don't worry if you can't visualize it, it's still there. Please imagine you're breathing in from your earth chakra now. And breathe out all the way down, 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 down into the very center of the core of the earth. And I was at a workshop yesterday where I was receiving the news that it has been proven that the center of the earth is in fact a crystalline core. And yes, it does have molten rock around it. And they have been able to establish this through a variety of testing methods, but mainly to do with earthquake testing and seismic seismic readings, I think it is. So breathe in. And as you breathe out, send your breath even more deeply into the center of the earth. And imagine there's just this huge pulsing crystal heart at the center of the earth. And just as we have source codes that come from above, the earth is made of stardust too. So we can receive the light codes from the very, very center of the earth and all of the wise beings that exist in different dimensions, but still exist within the body of Gaia, and transmit their love and their healing and their strength and courage and confidence and abiding love up to us. So in order to allow a full receptivity, a full surrender to your higher self, please give permission for your brain and your mind to relax, to choose to trust, remembering that trust is code word for magic, and to become the witness of this experience and the faithful servant of the heart and the soul through the heart. It's not about either the head or the heart, it's how they work together. And so now breathe the beautiful energy from this earth up through your legs, up through your pelvic floor, up through your whole body, and out through the crown of your head. You can even look up if you like. Sending your breath up through our sun, up through Sirius, up through all of the different suns, the stargates that connect us to the central sun of the omniverse. All that is. And then bring your chin neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, turn your head to the left and just give yourself permission to let go of every other moment that was, because now you are here. And to also give thanks for every other moment that was, because it brought you here. And inhale, center. Now exhale, turn your head to the right and send your breath into the future. Send your breath into what is coming with positive anticipation. Can you get excited about what you can't see yet, but you can feel is starting to form? And then inhale, bring that excitement to your heart. I actually listened to, I think it's called Positive Anticipation. It's one of my co-creations last night. Does it feel like to be excited about something you know is in the post that you can't wait to receive? Let's all take a deep breath in and have a big sigh together just to release the tension from the body. So breathe in and then a big sigh. Ah. Try that again. Breathe in. Now a big ah. Ah. And this third time, a little hum. Deep breath in. Opening to the infinite blessings that are always available to us all. I command that I am a pure channel of source, all that is, and that everybody here receives exactly what is desired and required in order to support the next ascension shift with grace and with ease for the collective and the individuals. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In alignment with the win-win-win in everything and the highest good of all, so it is and so it shall be. Calling in my guidance team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so you can very gently bow your head to your beautiful heart, slowly open your eyes, come back, welcome, let us get going. So, we've had a few answers here already. Got some hellos, which is lovely. It's been mental here. Am I on a hamster wheel? As it seems I'm wet nursing professionals who are unable to actually do their job, proclaim to do and get paid to do. Interesting. Yes, well, there's going to be definitely a lot of stuff coming up at the moment. In actual fact, what is going on? If you can imagine that we had, with the new moon in Cancer, it was literally as the Sirius gateway was peaking on the 5th of this month. So we're now on the 8th, yeah? And it's just been pulsing and pulsing. This energy has actually been building since before even the solstice, and the solstice was coinciding with a full moon, right? It was a full moon in Capricorn. So we've had such intense energies coming through, because what every one of us here wants is to embody more of our soul light. We're here to be as light as we can be whilst in physical density. Guess what has to happen? To have as much light in your body, in your physical being, that's going to allow you to really fulfill your mission, you've got to drop the density. So every dense story, every bloodline story, everything that frustrates you, everything that puts you into contraction has been coming up to be blasted out. It's almost like if you can imagine the most stubborn plaque on your teeth, and there's something called mucoid plaque that goes through your intestines, which prevents you from absorbing the vitamins and the minerals from your food. All of that, it's like a decalcification has been having to go on. And it's like our frequency is resonating at a higher and higher level. And what that then does is it creates, many of us are hearing ringings in our ears. We're starting to hear, when I say voices, I want to be careful about that, but you know what I mean? You're starting to receive some kind of clairaudient messaging, which is from your guides, and they're saying helpful things, not unhelpful things, and loving things. And this is a very important element of being able to distinguish, right, and what you're actually tuning into. But basically, we've just been resonating higher and higher. And as a result of that, we've had to just keep shedding and shattering the old. So if that's been happening for you, insane headaches, third eye clearing, all of us are getting some form of third eye, throat, heart, and solar plexus clearing. I've personally felt my sacral chakra has been really densely kind of clogged up and required more clearing and releasing. And interestingly, when we root down now from our bodies into the earth, we've all tended to root down. I mean, I've always seen it as an extension of the tailbone, extending a tapping root down to the center of the earth. But actually, it's coming from much higher up. Yesterday, I was being told about how we are all now starting to anchor down from our sacral chakra, but I'm feeling like it's actually coming from the back of the heart now. So we're moving into an upgrade in the solar plexus and the heart. And there's this dropping down that is really from our essence all the way down into the core of the earth and back up. So if you have any kind of experience with that, I would absolutely love to know more. Yeah, lots going on. So beyond tired, absolutely exhausted, tiredness. Yeah, all of this is happening. So what are we actually going to do with it? Physical pain. I'm going to come to that, and I'm going to give you some suggestions on all of this, so that you can actually make the most of it. So let's go with it. So we said we're going to access the phenomenal gifts of 888's Lionsgate so you can expand your capacity to receive. Now, I asked you to consider some questions, and if you haven't yet considered these questions, please do write them down because they're important. If you don't have answers to these questions, really, it's going to be difficult for you to manifest what you want, because the point of Lionsgate is it's the time when we get the most. Every year we have an 8-8 portal. Every year we have a 7-7 portal, right? Every year we're being given this, like, it's extra gifts. It's like Christmas in the cosmic climate, right? But in order to receive those gifts, we need to be prepared for them. So we have to have some clarity of intention. What is it we want? Why do we want it? And I don't mean the kind of intention that gets you contracted in your mind. I'm talking about the kind of, what's the word? Sorry, intention that you can feel makes you expand. That when you consider this intention in your body, there is an expansion, because that's what Lionsgate is about. And I've been saying for a year that this year's Lionsgate, because of the 888, it's because 2024 numerologically vibrates to 8. And when you reduce the number, it's an 888 Lionsgate this year. I've been told that we can have up to 1,000-fold expansion, up to 1,000-fold increase in whatever it is that we're intending to align with. But in order to do that, we have to have some clarity on our soul mission, which I'll go into in a moment. And we also need to answer these questions. So here are my questions to you. What does thriving mean to you? Write it down if you haven't. What I'll do is what does thriving mean to you? What does plenty feel like to you? Okay, so what does thriving mean to you? What does plenty feel like to you? And you might not have time to put the answers down now, but ask the questions. How do you enjoy experiencing love most? How do you enjoy experiencing love most? Are you someone who likes gifts? Do you like compliments? Do you like physical touch? Is it sex? Is it shopping? Is it going somewhere beautiful? Like, how do you like to experience love most? What is it for you? And then how much is more than enough? Do you have an answer to that in your own life? And I'm talking about more than enough time, more than enough money, more than enough energy, more than enough love, more than enough plentiful full supply of anything you actually want. Because the invitation of now is that we get really, really clear on what we desire. We have a very clear connection to the feeling state of what it feels like to have it, not to long for it, right? To have it, not to long for it. And that we then do the clearing work that's required and allow ourselves to stretch as far as we possibly can to create the infrastructure, which really means the scaffolding, to allow our ascension. So, you know, at the moment we're having a loft extension built by my beloved. Oh, mate, banging constantly in the house. I mean, it's going to be amazing what happens, right? But in the meantime, there's dust, there's banging, there's noise, there's frustration, there's endless little things that have to be sorted and fixed. And you know, you have to have scaffolding around to build this. And then there's all these things that could threaten it. So it's stressful. Expansion can feel really stressful. And that's why when we start to experience a sense of contraction, we often give up. And that's why I wanted to give you the key things to focus on today, to allow yourself to recognize that these discomforts don't mean you're on the wrong path. They mean you're on the right path. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. Faith doesn't make things easy. It makes things possible. I am a cliche queen. In fact, if you haven't yet signed up to RozyGlow.com, our free gift is the Rainbow Gems. And I've got an announcement to make that not even my team know about yet, about the Rainbow Gems, which I will share with you a little bit later. But for now, what is important is if you want to make the most of being able to receive the gifts, we have to know what the gifts are. So first of all, those questions I asked you are to do with you accessing the gifts, because the gifts on offer presently for us are very much geared around sacred union and actually really opening up to love, right? And what that means, what kind of love do you want? So some of you will have heard of Eros Gamos, which is holy wedding. Okay, I'm Greek. Eros Gamos is what it is. So it's the holy wedding, sacred union. What does that look like to you? My sacred union with my beloved is my idea of a sacred union. Yours will look different. I've got clients who are in open relationships, in thruples, not wanting to live together. Like there's all sorts of versions of whatever sacred union is, okay, for you. So it's getting clear what it means for you, not what you've been conditioned to believe. Also, what is the story that has repeated again and again and again? Because that's the story that has to be cleared, right? That's the story that isn't your truth, but it's your inherited karma drama, which requires some clearing, right? Secondly, the second area where the gifts are really coming in is in prosperity and wealth, because we are absolutely being prepared to embody the Thrive paradigm. Those of us who are here, the starseeds, empaths, light workers, way showers, highly sensitive people, are those of us who are here as acupuncture needles to hold the frequency of plentiful supply, of deep trust in that plentiful supply, even when our bank account doesn't say it's true, even when the government doesn't say it's true, even when the outside world is giving us different feedback. We are feeling the frequency of abundance, of wealth. I'm going to get you tapped into that today, of plentiful supply. And we trust that everything that is required and desired, because it's one thing to require things, but also, isn't it desirable to have a joyful, graceful, and easy experience wherever possible of whatever it is you're stretching yourself to? You know, to create in the Thrive paradigm, you can't create from stress and worry and fear. Okay? You can't create from there. That's not the Thrive paradigm. The Thrive paradigm is created through joy and through gratitude. So if you're not starting with filling yourself up with joy every day through activating gratitude, and I've done it myself, you're kind of running on empty from the start. You're getting out of bed, getting fired up, getting going with your to-do list, but you haven't given yourself anything yet. So if you want to receive more, you've got to give to yourself more. Can I please ask everybody to write that down? If I want to receive more, then I need to give myself more. So what are you short on giving yourself? Compliments, patience, time, commitment, courage? What do you need more of? What do you want to receive more of? Because desiring and requiring, it's like two slightly different things, aren't they? It's want and need. And depending on your conditioning, I was told I was allowed to have things I needed, but things I wanted made me greedy. If I was a very good girl and I did X, Y, and Z, then maybe. Totally conditional love. No fault of my parents, that's why many of us were actually brought up, but just saying that this is what it's about. So tonight, as we're preparing really to open to these gifts, we're learning to create through joy, peace, gratitude, instead of fear, stress, worry, and hustle. So right now, just write it down, where has the fear, the worry, the stress, and the hustle been showing up in your life? Because everyone has an Achilles heel, a weak spot, right? So when you're about to grow in a direction that's for your highest good, the bits of you that are used to being in survival mode, not thrive mode, are going to kick and scream and do absolutely everything they can to try and stop you. Okay. Again, as you're getting the chance to write this down, I have, in my own experience, felt like, and I literally got the message 3 days ago as I was waking up and almost finding myself contracting against what I knew I was dealing with, because it was a family drama. There's been some other dramas going on that have been intense and not in my control, right? But as I was kind of preparing, I heard the same voice that told me the light had won say, RozyGlow, be still, relax, let go. You have to surrender completely. We've had to drain you of your old self, so that we can actually fill you up with the liquid gold that is your birthright, is your truth, is what you dreamt of. Because it's literally, my light body is this sparkly yellow gold, right? Even though I'm RozyGlow. Weird, but that's how it is. And it was like I was being told, well, it's not like I was being told, the only thing that's left of you is your skin. Your skin suit is holding the form of your old self, but you have been refilled, replenished as your highest self-consciousness that you have been stretching and working your way towards for the last 3 years. This is what we're doing. You have to plug in every day to this before you do anything else. And even my skin suit, those who have been on the fearless journey with me know that we use the infinite love flame to basically clear the cellular memory and restore it to raw creative source energy. And so even my skin suit went through a sort of cellular cleansing, if you like, to restore it to infinite love, and then to bring through the codes that are the Thrive paradigm. We do a lot of lip service to Thrive, but we don't necessarily really understand what that means. And that's what we're doing together. And it means there's plenty of everything, all right? And we're generous, and we trust in the generosity of the universe as well. We ask for what we want. So I'm just checking here. I'll go through the questions are actually in all our promo, Lula. So I'll go through them again, but I'll leave that just to the end. Okay. So they will come in an email as well afterwards. Satisfaction, love is in the earth, the woods, immersion in nature with being that I see abundance. Yeah, absolutely. So we have been stretched like elastic. Okay, now let's move on. So what are we actually doing here? Well, I wanted to give you a little bit more information on this new moon in Cancer, and then we'll go into this #1 block and the 5 challenges. If you have got any questions, can you please put them down? Oh, someone's already done that. Thank you for putting those words in, Larice. That's great. So Lula, your question's been answered already. So too much fire, anger, and fury with injustice in family and external relationships, in systematic abuse, oppression. Yes, ego destroyed. Yeah, well, our ego, let's remember, when I talk about ego, I'm talking about your under 7-year-old self who likes to control everything to feel safe. And there's nothing wrong with this part of you, that this part of you absolutely loves and adores you and really wants to keep you safe. But the mindset of an under 7-year-old, you can imagine, what does a 1-year-old really understand of the situation? What does a 6-month-old? What does a 5-year-old? Do they have the breadth of understanding and the complexity of understanding that an adult would, being able to see things from a multitude of different perspectives? The answer is no. So this part of you is well-meaning, but really like not the best bit of you to be running the show, unless you really are in a life-threatening situation. This part of you will get you out of true and impending danger. But what happens is this part of you is so trigger happy in terms of looking for danger signals that guess what? What you seek, you find. Everything becomes a threat. because you're seeing through that lens. More of that coming later. So new moon in Cancer, we get to connect to the energies of the cosmic mother. Who is the cosmic mother? Well, just to sort of bring this all into context, we've had between 9 and 90,000 years of patriarchal paradigm. So we have no frigging concept of what the divine sacred mother is, okay? We don't know what the divine feminine is. We've got lovely whimsical ideas of it, beautiful goddesses and, you know, Demeter, endlessly giving, Mother Earth. Yeah, maybe, but actually, no, there's so many other layers. There's the shadow element. We talk about the dark goddess. The mother archetype is completely foobarred, as in the mother archetype that we try to live up to as mothers on this planet is impossible. Endlessly giving, never receiving, not cool, okay? So there is a reformulation, restructure, not just of the masculine and what is toxic and what is healthy, but actually the feminine. So this new moon, with all of the blasting that we've had, from firstly the last Capricorn full moon and the next one that's coming at the end of the month, 2 Capricorn full moons, that's to blast out the patriarchal paradigm. All right. So what is happening here is in between the new moon and Cancer, and it is like the cell membrane. So if you know Bruce Lipton's work, you know that one cell is replicated 50 trillion times in your body. That's the master cell. It has everything it could possibly need. It's got reproductive, excretionary, all the different elements that our bodies actually do independently are all in one cell. So if you can imagine your master cell is a bit like a womb, right? Because when the sperm and the egg fuse together, the cells start to divide. There's this circular energy that's going on, right? So the crust, the energy, the surround, it's like the cosmic wound. It's the shell of the crab that actually holds tenderly, protectively, the soft, beautiful heart of the feminine. So, you know, when we're actually starting to work with the archetype of the sacred feminine, the divine feminine, we have to be very careful of where we're still coming from wounding. And I'm going to address that in a moment. But ultimately, we have to also understand that we are imagining into being what a healthy feminine actually really is and what a divine mother energy would be like. Because does the divine mother just go, yeah, sure, whenever, whatever you like, have it, have it, have it? Or is the divine mother and divine father, or sacred mother, sacred father, however you define the divine, that's going to be a post, define the divine for me, Gemma, please write that down. We are kind of having to use our imaginal selves here. We are having to create something new of old, which is exactly what we're doing as we create the Thrive paradigm. We look at what we've had before and we go, well, I don't want that. So if I don't want that, what's the opposite of that? And that gives you a benchmark to start to experience everything in a slightly different way. Okay. So what's been happening is this resistance or resist dance between our sort of ego programming, toxic old selves, the conditioned self, and the highest self frequency. So we all have an activated 5D frequency in us. Everyone here knows what it's like when you're in that space where you're like, that's where I want to be, right? But what we're doing is we're oscillating all the time between that beautiful, lovely energy that is the frequency of like what can go beyond 5D into 9D, 12D, however many densities and dimensions you believe in. It's just the starting point of our non-physical realities, right? But we're getting to experience them in physical. 3D, the world of the 5 senses, the world of being programmed through fear, and 4D, the mind, okay? Am I going to look at this as threatening, or am I going to see the opportunity for growth? Am I going to surrender every time there is a challenge in my life? And instead of like push no matter what, see every obstacle that comes up in my life as an opportunity to realign. Now, if you think again of the energy of Cancer and in terms of the frequency of this zodiac sign, there is this outer shell that can push away. It's the fuck off fences and the bullshit barriers that say, no, we've done that. We're not doing that anymore. And the way this is playing out and will play out with the next full moon is actually in sacred union. It's in the connection where the feminine is finally speaking up. And to quote Kate, Blue Kate, who's here, you know, it is us actually having the capacity to face our fear of annihilation for actually non-compliance. That's what we're doing. Now, it doesn't matter what skin suit and genitals you have. It doesn't matter whether you identify as a man, a woman, or neither. What matters is that we understand that we have this energy in us, all right? That there is the yin and the yang, the active and the passive forces, whether you call them feminine and masculine, it's really up to you, it doesn't matter. But this is the key, is that we are being prepared now. We just had when I did the greed wound, the father wound leading to the greed energy, it was very interesting. There's very little response to the greed one. And actually everyone here, our issue with greed is we don't give ourselves enough because we're so busy, and you've got to be careful of the judgment and projecting out to others that actually, you know, they're bad for having more, so I must have less so that others don't end up having less. So we self-sacrifice. No more of that. The age of the martyr is the age of Pisces. We're not here to do that. We're here to lead by example, alive, not dead, thriving, not surviving. So every time you find yourself in contraction, ask yourself, where am I not aligned with thriving now? This is key, okay? So the resistance that's going on presently between these highly evolved energies and the wounded and toxic masculine and feminine energies have reigned supreme during the patriarchal era. Now how we navigate and resolve this, I'll dive into during this class, right? So if we know that we're actually preparing for the sacred union upgrade and the clearing toxicity around our relationships with this upcoming full moon, and by the way, please put in your diaries now, 19th of July, 7 p.m. BST, because that's when I'm going to be hosting the full moon healing and activation. Basically, this is to do with our finances and our romances. Okay, so how our relationship with money and our relationship with romance or love are tied up. You know, do we want something but actually resent the fact that we want it or need it? There's something there to actually unpack. So it's like hate it but need it, sell your soul for it, compromise your principles for it. I'm talking about love or money, right? The need to feel safe to receive both in terms of intimacy and also income. What's the catch? When we've had some dodgy programming around all of this, basically what ends up happening is we basically are concerned for what is coming and what is the price we're going to have to pay. So we're suspicious. Again, what you focus on grows. This passes from one generation to the next. And, you know, today I can share with you the issues that arise. I cannot clear them all in a masterclass. If you want to know about the work that I do, and remember, a lot of you know I work longer term with people. I have a 6-month detox and reprogramming process. There's a 1-month intensive. There's a 2-month rewrite your script potential, and that's liberation from limitation. There's the multidimensional yoga. Wherever you start somewhere, right? We've got everything on offer to get you stabilizing into 5D. And having had all of the challenges that I've had of stepping fully into my highest level mission so far, I have come to understand that essentially the rules are different at every level, right? And learning how to lead in a new earth paradigm where you're a trailblazer and you're a pioneer means something very, very different to following a proven track record, right? So what is required of us is different. And that's who I work with. I work with those of you who are on the leading edge of change and those of you who are also supporting others to clear their toxicity through you leading by that example and remembering that deprogramming and reprogramming is required on many different levels. So there are faster and slower ways of doing it. Now, if we just quickly examine what I was saying before about the different levels of soul mission, I personally count starseeds, as I said, as highly sensitive humans, as empaths, as those who will identify as way showers and influencers and having a sense of a soul mission. But that mission, if it's just a personal mission, please don't take that the wrong way, because even that it's so intense, the frequency. It might be to have a happy home life. It might be to feel just to feel content. That is a purpose, right? To feel content, to feel gratitude. Some of us have local missions, as in we have our personal being happy in ourselves and then an offering to our local community. Some of us have like a national mission, if you like. So it's more than local. It could be county, could be national. Then you could say, okay, we have a continental mission. So it's one particular continent. If it's more than one continent, then it's international. Then you can say global if it's everywhere. Then we can move into galactic and we can move into universal. I've had 5 different iterations so far of my soul mission. And this one, so the book, Star Peace, and everything that I'm sharing with you now and moving on for the Trailblazers is literally all about universal. Okay, so I've had to stretch myself to universal. I was galactic, and this is mentioned in the book, but universal is where it's at now. And that for me has been very scary, no lie, to step into. Okay, so I get what the edge is like and the kind of things that really get in the way. I'm also aware of time, so I'm going to move us down. So what are the energies of the cosmic mother? Solid shell, I've already said this. We're going to go more into this when we actually have our full moon clearing and healing. Again, I'm looking at people's responses. So if you've got a question, just make sure that you put it in the text box and I will answer it at the end. Okay, so I'm going to move into what the number one block is. And I feel this is so, so important for everyone here who feels an act of service, feels as though we have something to offer others. Because me even explaining those different levels of soul mission was just for you to understand that depending on how strongly you are reacting and responding to the current energies, the energies that really, they've been kicking in since November, to be fair, just before we turned into 2024. But really, even if you've been feeling them from the spring equinox or from the solstice, intense, intense, intense. The more you've been going through, the more that's saying about the level of your mission. I was having a chat with one of the ladies coming to the retreat and the nurture container about the fact that she's been actually prepared for what looks like a global mission and the level of initiation she's had to go through for that. How can you deeply trust yourself when, and this is the number one block, so many of us are in the world of healing, therapies, coaching, mentoring, teaching, okay, way showing. And that's great. And most of us, if we're honest, will say it's much easier to deal with other people's problems than our own, right? And that's good. But when you're actually in a place where you are facing something and fear has been triggered, or something that is a childhood trauma has been triggered. So what do I mean by this? Remember what I said to you before about the lens that we see the world through, right? If our childhood was traumatic, problematic, challenging, a little dysfunctional, which would be most of us, right? We see through eyes of fear first. We know that as our norm. That's our default, right? And so what happens with that is we end up in a position where when we find ourselves in unfamiliar territory, we immediately are looking through the eyes of fear. We're looking through the eyes of, I'm not safe, or am I? We don't have that sort of initial faith. I don't want to say blind faith, but that initial faith that we're always safe, that we'll always be provided for, that we'll always be taken care of. We're looking for signs of danger and we find them as a result. And I do see this, unfortunately, with quite a lot of my colleagues, and we all have to bring it out into each other's light and say, hey, are you aware of this? In this instance, you're in a triggered state. Now, when we're working with clients, it's different generally because we're already in some kind of contract with them where they trust us. We feel confident in our role and our delivery. Therefore, we can show up in a way that's more, the intuition is clearer, right? But when there's something at stake for you, when there's something that you perceive threatening, then the curtains will come down on that intuition being your true highest self voice, and you'll be seeing and perceiving and feeling your intuition through a lens of fear. That's the problem. That's the number one block. That's where we come so far forward and then we contract. So let's actually look into these signs of progression that are showing up as signs of regression, because what we tend to do is we look for signs externally, but you're looking through the eyes of fear. So what you see, fear means no, not go, whereas actually it's all reversed. And I found this out through a really beautiful article that I'm very excited about. And the lady who wrote it is Emmy Nazovic. And I'll put a link to this also in the email you'll all get. And it's 5 painful signs just before your manifestation arrives. Now, I've been sharing this for ages in my coaching work, right? But this was really the time when I saw it and went, oh my goodness, I'm not the only one saying this, right? This is actually happening. So, you know, the 5 painful signs, first and foremost, so you know, are, first of all, unexplained body and headaches. So if you are having physical sensations, headaches, physical pain, getting sick suddenly, feeling super, super tired, this is a really good example of the fact that you are going through an ascension and parts of you are in density, parts of you in light, and for them to integrate, your light has to penetrate your density and bring it up into the same frequency as the light. So we have to root down to rise up, root down to rise up. I'm going to keep saying that, root down to rise up. That's what the activation is today, rooting down. Okay, so probably going to go on 15 minutes longer, just letting you know. So we'll be done by 9:08, 9:20 roughly. Okay, so hopefully you can stay with me for this because it's really important. It's worth your time. It will help you so much. Okay, so that's the first one. It's about you actually being still. The remedy is stillness. The remedy is switching off every day from everything and allowing yourself permission to fill up. So what if you gave yourself permission to do that first thing in the morning and last thing at night? If you can do that, I would like a nice little, I don't know, thumbs up or whatever it is that you're going to do to say you're up for it and you'll make a commitment to it. The second thing is you start to experience doubt. Just before your manifestation appears, what if it doesn't work? You start to see everything again through this lens of fear. You're seeing things from the point of doubt running the show, and doubt is really insidious and erroneous, right? So you suddenly feel anxiety and doubt creep in just when you're calling in what you desire. There can be an essence of, do I feel worthy and deserving of this as well? So anything that is in the way of you having it on a mental level is going to show up, okay? That is another sign that you're going in the right direction. And again, the way you deal with all of this, that's what my course is, and that's what my intensives and retreats are all about. Okay, the next thing, and this is one that I know a lot of us have been doing because this is the oscillation of 3D, 5D, is one day you're super excited, the next day you're ready to throw in the towel. One day you're feeling the energy of the manifestation, you're like, yeah, we're already there, I can see it, it's happening. And the next day you're riddled with fear, or you're flat as a pancake and you don't even care anymore. Now, you speak to any successful person, as in people who have achieved their goals, they'll all say to you that when the moment came that they'd finally achieved that thing that they'd been working towards, it wasn't like, it was like, yeah, of course, it was inevitable that was going to happen. That's what I've been absolutely focused on all this time, that I am a pro expecting it to happen, because you expect it, it does. You've worked through the doubt, right? Next one. 4, are you sure you want this? Doubt creeps in again. So have you noticed that fear, not doubt, creeps in? And you'll start to feel, it's like, are you sure? Isn't this a bit narcissistic? Who do you think you are? Why you? Right? There's a nasty voice that can come up. And remember that fear also stands for false evidence or expectation or emotion appearing real. I'm a master of clearing fear. I was riddled with fear, born with it, see it show up every time I'm about to grow again, know how to deal with it well. Okay, masterful at that. So the whole thing with the fear thing is anytime you step out of your familiar zone, it's not comfortable, it's familiar, fear will trigger. Remember what I said about the number one wound for us all is the lens of fear, which kicks in when we're facing the new. The final step, or the final things we've said, you get the aches and pains, you get the doubt coming in, right? You oscillate between yes and no, as in, yeah, it's happening. No, I don't think I can do this. 4, fear comes up on all sorts of levels. And then 5, the stuff that you thought you dealt with a long, long, long time ago shows up again. And you're like, but I've done this. Now, the way this woman summarized this was like genius for me. She said, just like in a computer game, every level, different devil. So yes, you've dealt with it. The way I describe this is life isn't linear, it's spiral. So we're going up the mountain, we're facing the same thing from a slightly different perspective, higher vantage point. What do you learn to do? When you're panicking, you realize that's part of the process. When you're in fear, when you're throwing your toys out the pram, oh, I know where I am. I need to take a break, I need to rest, I need to lighten up. Am I coming from joy or fear? Is this hard work? Am I pushing? This isn't how you create the new world. This leads me to where we're going next, which is what's happening on the 8th of August. What's happening for Lionsgate? Now, I have 3 amazing opportunities for you, okay? Everything I've just talked about in terms of how you navigate it, how you deal with it, book your desire mapping call. If you haven't done it, I'm going to just put here in the text box now, the RozyGlow.com website address. And if you go onto that website on the homepage, you'll now find you can book a desire mapping call or a sacred union call. Please, unless you know that your issue is around sacred union, please book the desire mapping call so we can look at where you are, where you want to be, and what it's really going to take for you specifically to get there. Because I need to know what you've already done, where you currently are now, what's showing up for you, and then I can let you know what is going to be the fastest, most graceful, easy, and joyful way for you to receive what you desire, because you've got to be a vibrational match for it. Okay, those who've already been through it know we stabilize, then something else comes up. Okay, so for those who are the leaders, the luminaries, the way showers of the New Earth paradigm, I knew this was going to be a big deal this year. This Lionsgate was going to be about leadership in a new paradigm. And I actually got a download of it last night. I got a whole download about leadership, which I will share on the retreat. I may make another video about it. But essentially, if you would like to be held in a container where you are actually nurtured through getting clear on your intentions, your narrative rewrite, what you want, and then coming together to receive the activations, to receive the frequency upgrades, the Star Peace codes, Paradise Earth codes, the Sacred Union codes, the Christ-like Miracle codes, the Atlantean Master Teacher codes, the Lemurian Goddess codes. That's what we're doing when we come together. Lots of activations, and then the next day will be full of clearing practices. And then we're having more online work afterwards to integrate everything so that you know the kind of stuff that's going to come up for you, the kind of stuff that's already come up for you before, and how to deal with it. You're connecting with the deities of love, good fortune, and wealth, and allowing them to support you in your highest self-expression. And you're meeting in community with others who are also on the cutting edge of conscious change, of heart-centered change. Then please do let me know. I've got one space left. I believe I've got one space left for the Lionsgate. It's basically a portal which has a 3-night retreat, and it's now been moved to Bosom. We've actually going to be on the south coast. We've got forest, we've got sea, we've got beautiful trees, we've got a ley line, we've got an Avebury stone, we've got togetherness. So we can do forest bathing, sun bathing, moon bathing, star bathing, and receive all of these codes, because it's as above, so below. So that's going to be a 3-month container with a 3-day intensive, 3-night intensive. That's from the 7th to the 10th of August. Those of you who can't come for all of that, or not resonating with that, I am going to be hosting an afternoon, evening, in-person cacao ceremony and meditation, because guess what? What's there for everybody? And I'm going to just share my screen with you to share this with you just now. And then we're going to get into our activation and just share this with you. So I'm aware many of you won't have actually come across this yet. Let me know you can see it. But this is the Star Peace Consciousness website. Okay, and this Star Peace Consciousness website, let's enter full screen, is my little baby that I've been working on for the last 3 years. We have rainbow codes, not just green codes, because we've got a 12-strand DNA. But the reason I'm taking you here is I would love you to come to the Star Peace Manifesto. It's starpeaceconsciousness.com, and you'll see there's a manifesto here, which we're going to be bringing to life on Lionsgate. So on the actual day of the peak of the portal, on the 8th of the 8th, 2024, at 8:08 p.m. Universal Time, which is 9:08 p.m. in the UK, we're all going to be listening. There's going to be a global meditation that we've sent out ahead of time for everybody to join together, just listen to, participate in the feeling vibration state, and using our visualization capacity to imagine into being a new reality. Now, those of you who are local that would like to join us will have the opportunity to come and join us in person for what will be a 4-hour activation and integration of these energies, and we will together participate in this audio meditation. But for anyone and everyone, if you have a yoga group, if you have a meditation group, if you have a circle of spiritual gathering, I'm inviting you please to sign up. Okay, there should actually be another sign up page as well. So to sign up to the manifesto, I'm co-creating this manifesto now. That will lead you into our mailing list. You'll be able to join. It gives you the option to join the mailing list. Please do, because we haven't sent one email out yet. This is not a website where you're going to get loads and loads of emails from us. But the point with it is it explains what Star Peace is and how every one of us can participate. And also knowing the difference between being a Paradise Earth architect, builder, or energizer, oracle, nurturer, or nourisher. Okay. And really what I'm asking you to do with this, Helen, would you mind please putting the link in the text box if you've got it for the actual sign up page, because I have neglected to move it to my emails. And right now I'm not going to remember to do it. So if you can, that would be amazing. But essentially, I would like to get as many of you as possible actually looking at the manifesto. Email me if you would like some adaptations made to it. There's a fuller version of the manifesto, which is in the book, Star Piece 101, not yet for sale, but coming. And this is really to bring to life through the power of imagination what's possible. Now, we know that the transcendental meditation people, the intention experiments that have been conducted internationally by Lynn McTaggart, plus a whole host of other amazing trailblazers in terms of unified intention, we know the exponential impact of people joining together at the very same time with the same intention, having the same experience. Right, so all the senses being entrained into the same experience. We're going to have a little taste of it now as we do our activation, right? But the point of this particular invitation is it's free. All you have to do is sign up to the mailing list, right? You will receive the meditation ahead of time so you can share it with your community. And we're asking you that all of us participate at 8:08 p.m. Universal Time. In UK, that's 9:08 p.m. So we make sure we're all holding the energy and we can have the exponential impact of not just affecting the field around us, but changing it. We're changing it. We're activating. It's like the scaffolding stops being the scaffolding and the building has been built, right? That's what we're doing together. That's what you're invited to. So there's a full-on 3-month container with a 3-night in-person retreat. If you want to receive the codes, progress as fast as you possibly can and make the most of a huge upgrade, right? There's the coming and joining us just for the afternoon, evening of the 8th, and there'll be more info coming. And then there is the global meditation that everyone can participate in. So all of those, the answer is to go along to what has been, hopefully, we will definitely send it in the email to you, but you can do it now by signing the manifesto. You will join the actual mailing list where you'll receive the information, okay? Put all the links in anyway, so just check the text box when you're watching this and we'll go from there. All right, I'm going to take us into the activation now. Okay, so to recap on everything, for us to actually make the most, to open to receive, we have to give to ourselves more of what we actually want, right? Give yourself what you're asking for. Find a way. You're not sure how? Book a desire mapping call and we'll go through that together, all right? Gemma has put the desire mapping call link up for you. Also, if you go to RozyGlow, you'll be able to sign up there. We've also looked at the number 1 block, which is when you're encountering the new stuff, you typically will see through a lens of fear, unless you're one of the very fortunate, very small percentage of people that were filled with so much confidence to face the new and embrace change. If you're one of those, you're probably not here right now, all right? And if you are, great, just let us know and we'll magnify the energy of you. The third thing is getting actively involved in Lionsgate this year, one way or another. I've asked you to do that. Now, here's the fourth thing, and you don't know about it yet, but I'm going to share it with you now. As of tomorrow, whilst this Lionsgate is basically being built, okay, I am going to reactivate my channel, as in I'm going to reactivate my Telegram channel, and I'm going to show up every day with an audio message of basically 3 rainbow gems, an interpretation of the 3 rainbow gems. So I'm now putting in the text box for you to be able to access the channel that is the Telegram channel, the Star Piece Telegram channel, because the book, the manifesto, website, the channel, they're all leading to something. World domination, not by me, by peace. Okay, we all want peace. We all want peace. This book, as I said to you, is a portal. I have found myself, I told you about the skin thing and the being replenished, but I keep finding myself in my mind's eye going into this portal. That's my light body. That's what I was shown in a dream as my light body. So I keep finding myself going into this new reality and then almost being freaked out. It's a bit like realizing you're astral traveling and coming flat back into your body, right? So this is what's happening for all of us on some level. We're getting a sense of what is possible, then it's freaking us out. We're coming back to what we know, and then we go, no, I want that more. So let's start with our activation, yeah? Okay, I'm super excited for everybody because this is a powerful time. It's not going to be long. It doesn't need to be long. It just is powerful. So I'm just going to record this as well on my phone. This is our activation of the Lionsgate portal energies. And what we're doing is we are setting an intention now to have the most graceful, easy, and joyful ascension timeline possible as we step into this Lionsgate portal energy. We're allowing ourselves to activate the energy of our infinite soul. We're choosing to let go of the contracts of the past that have kept us stuck in 3D. And we're embracing the fact that it is our birthright to have a plentiful supply of all we desire and require, including sacred union love, plentiful resources, including money, time, energy, vibrant health, joy and peace as our co-creation strategy that emanates from gratitude. So are we joyfully creating? Are we aligning with peace? And are we activating from a space of gratitude? That's the invitation. I'll ask you about that in a bit. So rubbing your hands together, having a little shake, releasing your shoulders. Now, please allow your palms to be up, okay? And I ask you to hold the fingers very lightly towards each other. This is Pushpapati Mudra. So you're not holding tight. You're just allowing your fingers to be relaxed, palms facing up, legs uncrossed, feet in butterfly or feet on the ground or legs separate, no crossing. Okay, gently closing your eyes, looking up to your third eye point, and in your mind's eye, activating a sphere of compassion around you. So remembering that a sphere of compassion is really the container that holds your whole energy field, all that you are, within a safe, contained space that vibrates at the frequency of pure joy, pure compassion, pure unconditional love. Now welcome your breath. Remember, this is a safe space you have created for yourself. And allowing yourself to witness almost yourself in front of you. Imagine now that you are seeing yourself on a screen in front of you, in your sphere of compassion. And what you're doing is you're seeing the alignment of the center of the earth, and above that, your earth chakra, and above that, your whole physical body as one sphere, which is your sphere of compassion. Above that, your soul chakra. Above that, our sun, our solar sun. Above that, our galactic sun. So now connecting with this energy of Sirius, which is the energy of our soul sun, 23 times more powerful than our soul, our physical solar sun that orbits in our solar system. And above that, I'd like you to imagine your causal self as the sphere that is source, all that is. And above that, it replicates again as the multiverse core and as the omniverse core. So there's a long line of spheres all spinning, and we invite them to spin in harmony. So just going to very quickly activate our I am presence, and remember our intention is to earth and ground these energies and till the soil, nurture the soil, nourish the soil, so that our seeds, the Lionsgate seeds, are able to germinate with grace, ease, gratitude, and joy, so that we can have a full bloom of miracles and magic that align us with the Thrive paradigm, synchronicities, expansion in our physical reality. So being very aware of that line of spheres, all spinning to the frequency of compassion and peace, please extend the crown of your head up, root your tailbone down, and repeat out loud with me or after me. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am the creation. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am free. I am divine sacred union. I am divine wealth and prosperity. I am divine peace. I am divine joy. I am divine grace. I am divine ease. I am divine miracles. I am divine magic. I am fully aligning with the Thrive paradigm. I am a conscious creator of Paradise Earth. I am star peace. I am personal peace. I am world peace. I am putting my soul in control. I am surrendering control to my soul. I am aligned with the divine all of the time. I am my personal paradise. I am the embodiment of my highest self. I am that I am. Okay. There's absolutely nothing that you need to do right now other than soften deeply and allow yourself to receive. So you're in your sphere, imagining your crown opening up, imagining your pelvic floor relaxing down. I'm going to bring through some light language in a moment, and it literally will only be for a minute or two to allow for this alignment and activation, commanding now that we are anchoring our tapping roots. We are anchoring into the 5D frequency of our earth chakras and of Mother Earth Gaia's heart. And we are allowing ourselves to receive the upgrades, the codes that will allow us to have a graceful and easy expansion. It will allow us to receive more of what we desire. Will allow us to stabilize in these new frequencies without the need to dramatize. I am choosing to neutralize, not dramatize. Say it 3 times. I am choosing to neutralize, not dramatize. I am choosing to neutralize, not dramatize. I'm calling in now my star families, the Intergalactic Super Federation, and a transmission that will support everybody to nourish and nurture their soil, to plant the Lionsgate seeds that are required, will allow the Thrive paradigm to activate fully in our own lives, crescendo as we come to the 8th of August, and start to see manifestations of miracles and magic from the moment we even finish this masterclass. So let yourself receive this. Give permission for the brain to relax, surrender to the heart, allowing the heart now to activate the imagination. And notice the colors that come through to you now and where you feel sensations in your body as you receive this transmission. Please just relax your brain, let your heart feel this and receive it. And notice what comes up for you. Ushturaya chiawanara uasara aharanaya uraya ieya aranaya si ishtaraya chiawana uraya kieya harana ishtiraya chieya aranaya ueya susturaya chuchuchuraya kia aranaya ueya. Suranaya chuya. Oh, suranaya. Oh. Breathing into the solar plexus, midway between the navel and the heart. As we breathe out, sending now from the solar plexus and anchoring energy deep into your earth chakra and into the core of the earth. So we're going to sound down from the solar plexus. And the sound is ah. We're going to do it 3 times, my friends. Okay, so take a deep breath in. Again. One more time. Just move down 1 chakra to the sacral. There's a little light language coming through for a clearing there. So if you want to bring 1 hand to your lower belly, please do. If you feel sexy, this is a good thing. Releasing shame and guilt. Blocking the way to receive. Release to the earth. Remember, Mother Earth takes it all as fuel. There's no judgment on what good is, what is bad. Ishtiraya chichichiya aranaya kiya aranaya sususuraya chiya aya arana iya iharanaya ku. The sound ooh going down from the sacral chakra to the earth. And now take your awareness down 1 more, down into your root chakra. So this is where we typically have been seeking to create from. It's where we've been taught the blockages are. Ishtiraya charanaya kuraya kikikiya haranaya astaranaya kiyaranaya ishtaraya chiya niraya aranaya kiya. Allow, 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 open, 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 expand, expand, expand. Ishtiraya chi. So with the next sound, O, we're sending it again deep into the core of the earth, as though an anchor is entering into this crystalline heart. So desired, received, longed for, wanted. There's no pain involved here, it's pleasure. The sound is O, but I've just got some light language to come through first. You can place your hand on your perineum. Nurora nana aranua usturaya nura 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 uea wa 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 shturaya chiawanaya o. So release the need to justify your lack story. Are you ready to let that shit go? Nusturaya wanaya wa ya 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 wa. Wa 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 shturaya wa nia wa. So pull up your pelvic floor muscles, and with the sound O, We release the pelvic floor muscles, send the anchor into the center of the earth, anchoring into abundance, wealth, prosperity. Deep breath in, pull up the pelvic floor and release on the out breath. Okay, within your beautiful sphere, see your six-pointed Merkaba. For most of you, this is a six-pointed star. Allow it to spin within your sphere. Some of you will see your diamond-shaped Merkaba. For most of you, this will not be the case, though. Those who are coming to the retreat and the online container are working with this diamond light body, the octahedron. That's what we're integrating into our divine architecture. Sacred union codes, Eros Ramos, Ishtiraya Chieya Aranaya Su. They are the frequency of wealth, thriving, joy and peace. Ishtaraya Chi, expressed through gratitude for all we already have and all that is coming. Ishtiraya Chieya. So just in this moment before we come back, take a moment to imagine all that you desire is already made manifest, and please give thanks for every single thing. Mutter it under your breath. You can bring one hand to your heart, one to your lower belly. I'll give you just a moment. Giving thanks for, I am so happy and grateful that. Complete the sentence, the paragraph. I am so happy and grateful that. When we give thanks, it is done. When we give thanks, it is done. When we give thanks, it is done. Rainbow grandmothers coming in saying, thank you, we've heard you. All of our star families giving thanks that we have taken this moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Releasing every being now back to where they go. Allowing our energy in its full sovereign state. You might want to reach your arms up and just give thanks. Imagine the soil beneath you. Imagine the seeds in the earth. And imagine now these two beautiful gates opening up, the golden gates around the Syrian sun, around this beautiful, huge soul sun, and this downpour of blessings coming down. Let yourself receive, feel your cells, molecules, atoms, subatomic particles, quantum field and photon stream in all dimensions, all space and time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace prevails on earth, peace prevails in our hearts, peace prevails in our universe, peace prevails in our minds, our bodies and our souls. So it is and so it shall be. Aho. Very gently bring yourselves back. We are complete. Whew. Okay, lovelies, I'm aware of time and I just want to honour everybody here. So I am absolutely happy to answer questions. I'd like you to bring yourselves back by breathing in through your pelvic floor, through the soles of your feet, knowing something very powerful has just happened. Make sure you drink lots of water tonight. Journal. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep, don't toss and turn, get up. Ask your guides to download the message for you. Look at the time that it is. You can look up spiritual numbers in the morning, but check it out, write it down, know that you're receiving guidance. Remember to book your desire mapping call. If you haven't already, you go to RozyGlow.com. Yeah, and then you'll see on the homepage the opportunity to do that. As far as the Lionsgate meditation, we'll be sending you a link in an email to where you can sign up for that. You can do it already by joining the Star Peace Manifesto and signing that on starpeaceconsciousness.com. And as of tomorrow, my channel, the Star Peace channel on Telegram, I will start to share 3 rainbow gems a day to prepare you and really get you into the energies of Lionsgate. It's So that's my offering to you. This is what is here. If you're interested in the in-person work, please reach out to me. Just drop me an email and I'll set up a call with you. Absolutely ASAP, time is of the essence. That's all I'll say for now. I'd love some feedback before you go. If you're happy to write a few words in the text box around how this was for you, what you got from it. Janie, I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to share with you. I'm going to get you on another call very soon so everyone can hear your beautiful voice. What did you take from today? I'm loving the thank yous. I'd love to know what you got from today. What's your key takeaway? And also, if anyone does have any questions, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to ask them. Hold on.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so we have some great questions here. I've got, I am curious, how would you know the level or extent to where an individual's reaches to? It's a very good point, but I think the main thing would be, like, for example, I could give you my experience, you know, when I was a yoga teacher, just a yoga teacher, and I was running Enjoy Yoga, I basically had the reach of 2 counties, firstly one county, then another, right? Then I moved into online work with RozyGlow and started to train as a coach, create my own courses. And this then went from, well, actually, it wasn't just local. The Enjoy mission was local, it was 2 counties, and then it became international in the sense that I was going to different countries and seeding Birthlight. So I was seeding courses as a teacher trainer around the world. So that was the start of my international mission, if you like. Then I ended up in a position where I was creating my own content and the reach was getting wider. And now we've ended up with a global universal mission. So one of the ways is to consider what is it you're doing and where does it reach? Are you writing a book? Have you got a blog? Have you got a Facebook page? You know, where are people coming from? Because, as I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong, and it's very much often really underrated, that you may have the desire simply, and I say simply because it's not easy, to feel fulfilled and content in your personal life, in your own life. You've got no real drive to teach others, no real drive to do any big major thing. You just want to have a happy home and a happy inner being. If you knew how much that carried, I personally feel that in itself is a universal mission. It's just the extent to which you will have to stretch yourself will be different in such an instance than one where you are, you know that you're going to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. For example, you know, I'm going into public speaking, even though, you know, I'd never felt very comfortable on a stage, right? So what excites me also terrifies me. So that's a good level, again, of being able to start to measure where you are in your journey. And some of it's intuitive. It changes. It depends on whether you feel fulfilled a certain level of your mission. And then it's a bit like Mission Impossible. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. You're invited to a next level, and it's up to you whether you want to or not, because you can actually change your purpose even whilst you're in your physical body. So if that doesn't, you know, I know we're going to be having a conversation anyway tomorrow, but the main thing really is that, yeah, there was rain during the activation. That's the way it goes. Nurturing the soil. Yeah, basically, I think the most important thing is bring these questions. And if you have not yet joined the Manifesting Star Peace Utopia Facebook group, I usually am a lot more, I do a lot more videos and lives in there. We've just had an issue with Zoom. So until that's activated or sorted out even, which it should be instantly, soon, it's happening. I've been a little less going on in the lives there, but bring the questions there and then I'll make videos, whether they're on TikTok or YouTube, I'll make videos and explain things. Okay, so are there any more questions here? Good night, human. All right, I think that's it. Okay, so if anyone has got any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I just want to say I love you. Thank you for showing up. It's not easy. None of this is easy to do. But we did come here on a volunteer mission to help the ascension of this planet. So we might as well get to work, right? And enjoy it. Love you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining. Remember to make the most of these opportunities. I give you an opportunity to get to know me. So then when you do decide to invest, if you decide to invest in yourself in a way that's really deeply impactful, you know you can trust what you have chosen to do. You've got the track record to say this is the right thing for me to do, and I'll do it. Okay? So without further ado, much love to you all. See you soon.